The day Abigail's father died, everything changed. She wasn't sad because of the grief or the loss she had just encountered, but because the people she called family finally showed their true faces. Standing beside the polished mahogany coffin, Abigail fought back tears as mourners filed past. Her father, Samuel Mensah, had been one of the most respected businessmen in the city. His real estate empire stretched across multiple cities. His name carried influence. His wealth was undeniable. Yet, as Abigail looked around the crowded funeral hall, she noticed something strange. No one seemed interested in money. They were interested in something else, which is the inheritance. Her stepmother, Victoria, stood, surrounded by relatives, whispering among themselves. Abigail caught fragments of their conversation. Everything belongs to Victoria now. The girl will have nothing. After all, she isn't Victoria's real daughter. The word pierced her heart, but she remained silent. Her father had always taught her dignity. She intended to honor that lesson. Unfortunately, dignity would soon become her greatest burden. 3 weeks after the funeral, Victoria called a family meeting. The luxurious mansion felt colder than usual. Abigail sat quietly while her stepmother occupied the head of the table. Beside her sat her 2 children, Brian and Vanessa. Neither bothered hiding their smug expression. Victoria cleared her throat. Now that Samuel is gone, certain arrangements must be made. Abigail listened carefully. Victoria's gaze landed on her. You are 24 years old. Abigail nodded. Yes. Then it is time you stop living here for free. The room fell silent. Abigail blinked. I'm sorry? Victoria leaned back. This house belongs to me now. Brian smirked. And everyone must earn their place. Abigail stared at them in disbelief. She had lived in this house since childhood. Her father had built it. Yet they spoke as if she were a stranger. What exactly are you saying? Abigail asked. Victoria smiled coldly. If you wish to remain here, you will work. Work? Cook. Victoria counted on her fingers. Clean. Wash. Serve. Abigail felt her stomach tighten. You want me to become a servant in my own home? Vanessa laughed. Your home? The mockery in her voice was unmistakable. Wake up, Abigail. Your father is gone, and so is your privilege. The following months became a nightmare. Every morning before sunrise, Abigail cleaned the mansion. She prepared meals, she washed clothes, she served guests. Meanwhile, Brian and Vanessa enjoyed luxury without lifting a finger. Whenever visitors arrived, Victoria introduced Abigail as household help. The humiliation was deliberate. One afternoon, Victoria hosted an expensive lunch on. Several wealthy guests filled the room. Abigail carried a tray of drinks inside. A woman glanced at her. New maid? Victoria smiled. Something like that. The room erupted in laughter. Abigail lowered her eyes, not because she was ashamed, but because she refused to give them the satisfaction of seeing her cry. At night, she often sat alone in her small room, the same room once used by her storage staff. Gone were her spacious bedroom and private balcony. Those now belonged to Vanessa. One evening, her best friend Maya visited secretly. When Maya saw Abigail's condition, she was horrified. "This is madness." Abigail forced a smile. "I will survive." "No," Maya shook her head. "Why are you allowing this?" Abigail stared at the family portrait on her wall. Because despite everything, she still believed her father had a plan. Samuel Mensah had been many things, but careless was not one of them. He had built a billion-dollar empire through intelligence and foresight. Surely he hadn't left her completely defenseless. Just surely. Months turned into a year. Then one afternoon, an unexpected visitor arrived. A black luxury sedan stopped outside the mansion. Out stepped Mr. Kofi Ajay, Samuel's longtime lawyer. Victoria welcomed him with excitement. Finally, the inheritance discussion she had been waiting for. Everyone gathered in the living room. Victoria sat confidently. Brian and Vanessa exchanged eager smiles. Abigail quietly served tea before taking a seat in the corner. Mr. Ajay opened his briefcase. "I have come regarding Samuel Mensah's final will." Victoria's smile widened. "At last," she said. The lawyer adjusted his glasses. There were instructions that the document remain sealed for 1 year after his death. The room grew silent. Brian leaned forward eagerly. "Let's hear it." Mr. Ajay unfolded several papers. Then he began reading. "I, Samuel Mensah, being of sound mind, declare this to be my final will and testament." Everyone listened carefully. The lawyer continued. "To my beloved wife, Victoria Mensah, I leave the sum of $500,000. Victoria smiled and nodded proudly. Then the lawyer continued. "To Brian Mensah and Vanessa Mensah, I leave $200,000 each." Their smiles grew wider. This was already more money than most people would see in a lifetime. Then came the next line, the line that changed everything. "To my daughter, Abigail Mensah." The lawyer paused. Abigail looked up. "I leave full ownership of Mensah Holdings Group, including all company shares, properties, investments, business accounts, and controlling assets." Silence. Absolute silence. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. Victoria's smile disappeared. Brian blinked repeatedly. Vanessa looked confused. The lawyer continued. "Estimated value is $187 million. The room exploded. "What?" Victoria jumped to her feet. "This is impossible." Brian looked ready to faint. Vanessa's face turned pale. Meanwhile, Abigail sat frozen. She wasn't sure she had heard correctly. $187 million? The lawyer calmly raised another document. "There is more." Victoria collapsed back into her chair. Mr. Ajay continued reading. "My daughter, Abigail, possesses the character, integrity, and compassion required to protect what I built." The lawyer's voice echoed through the room. "I have watched how others value status and wealth, but Abigail values people. That is why she alone shall inherit my legacy." Tears filled Abigail's eyes. Even after death, her father had known. Her father had seen. Her father understood her. The lawyer continued, "In addition, ownership of the family mansion shall transfer immediately to Abigail Mensah." Victoria looked as if she might scream, but the final blow had yet to come. Mr. Ajay opened another envelope. Samuel included a personal letter. He handed it to Abigail. Her hands trembled as she unfolded it. Inside was her father's familiar handwriting. He wrote, "My precious daughter," she read. The room became quiet. Abigail read aloud, "If you are hearing this, then I am gone. But I know something about you. You will remain kind, even when others are cruel." Tears rolled down her cheeks. She continued reading. "You will remain humble, even when others become arrogant, and because of that, some people may mistake your kindness for weakness." The words struck everyone in the room, especially Victoria, the mother. Abigail continued reading. "If those around you have treated you unfairly, remember this. Wealth does not reveal character. It exposes it. I trust you to do what is right, not what is easy. Love always, Dad." By the time she finished reading, tears streamed down her face. Victoria suddenly stood. "This is fraud." Mr. Ajay shook his head. "The documents are fully legal." "I'll challenge them," Victoria said. "You may try." His voice remained calm. "But you will lose."